Shalom Aleichem. The way that Am Yisrael passed information from generation to generation, from father to son, our heritage, is celebrated very strongly in the holiday of Pesach. One of the strong things that happens on Pesach, there are many important things, is our kids ask us questions. And this is the night where the heritage continues from father to son. The emunah goes from father to son till the end of time. This is true not only for Pesach, this is true always. Reality is a riddle, or a big mystery. The thinking person, they look at reality, they look at life, they're full of questions. When we don't ask questions, that means we gave the answers. And if I don't know the answer, then how could I answer it? It's very important for us to ask the rabbis, to ask the chachamim, to ask the wise ones. And they give us their wisdom, and this way we know what to do. So it's very important to ask questions. In addition, when a person asks a question, he already opens up in the world that an answer should come to him. So B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to start this program where you guys send in questions, and I will B'ezrat Hashem look for answers in the holy books and the Sfarim. We'll ask around, and we'll try once a month to deliver the proper answers to these important questions. Right now we are sitting in the Bet Knesset of the Ari Kadosh, the very, very holy place in Tzfat. This is the Bet Knesset that the Ari Kadosh himself prayed in. There's a room here where he would meditate with Eliyahu Navi and learn the deepest secrets of the Torah. This Bet Knesset was really closed for many years. The intensity, the holiness was very strong, and people could not come in here. Some years ago, the holy Baba Sali, he came here and he spent a couple of hours and he did what he did, and since then, Baruch Hashem, the place is open and people could come in here. So it's a very big privilege for us to be in this holy place. And B'ezrat Hashem, the holiness that's here should be transmitted into all the neshamot of Am Yisrael, give them strength and clarity and blessing. Okay, we'll start with a couple of questions, more general questions that were asked, and B'ezrat Hashem, the next month will be your questions, B'ezrat Hashem. Sometimes you ask a question, and it's not only your question. There's thousands of people that have the same question, so you ask it. What is special in us? What is special in Am Yisrael? Am Yisrael, the chosen nation. Kadosh Baruch Hu chose us. Like we say every day, Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. He chooses us from all the nations. Am Yisrael is different than any nation. Our structure, our spiritual structure, is different than the structure of a person that's not from Am Yisrael. Am Yisrael, we are the kids of Avraham Avinu, Yitzchak Avinu, Yaakov Avinu. And we are a part of the holy team, the holy army, the army of light that's in this world, to restore the real world order, to bring the real news that there is a king to this world. This is what Avraham Avinu started to do. Yitzchak Avinu, Yaakov Avinu, and the tribes and the whole nation. The peak of this is when we accepted the Torah, Na'aseh v'nishma. When we saw the Creator of the world and He saw us, and we accepted His ways. And we're going to talk about this more. Based on our mission, we also got these spiritual strengths necessary for this awesome mission of fixing the world. Each one of us has a chelek elokah mima'al hamash, an aspect of God, a unique, infinite aspect. This is something that's only special to us, based on the mission that we took, this mighty task that Am Yisrael took upon themselves. There are many questions here about mitzvot. Today it's a very important topic. What are mitzvot, and are mitzvot important? Why are mitzvot such a strong part in the life of a Jew? So to answer this, we'll talk a little bit about mitzvot. There are dimensions that exist within time and space. That's where we live in. We live within the dimensions of time and space. However, the Infinite One exists above time and above space. He creates time and creates space. And the purpose of creation, the end goal of creation, is that the creation should be in complete dvikut. That means complete connection and unity with the Creator. And the way the creation reaches this holy goal is by following the instructions of the Creator. The Creator is the only one that knows how a being that's time-bound, that's space-bound, could rise above and connect to the timeless, to the endless, to the infinite. Each mitzvot in general, and each mitzvah in particular, has the quality of connecting within time to above time. Therefore, a mitzvah, the word mitzvah, mem tzadik, vav, hey, is really divided into two, mem tzadik, and then vav and hey. We know that mem tzadik is really in a code, really a code for Hashem's name, that's called Yud Kei Vav Kei. Every mitzvah is hidden and revealed. The hidden part of it is symbolized by the Yud Kei. When they're reversed, it becomes Mem Tzadik. This goes to an ancient code language called Atbash. When you take the letters and arrange them from Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud, Kaf, and then Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samach, Ayin, Pei, Tzadik, Kuf, Re, Shin, Taf. You arrange it this way, so the letters could be reversed. And in that system, if I take Yud will be Mem, and Hey will be Tzadik. So mitzvah, I'm doing an action, but really this action is an action of transformation. I'm doing an action that's in time, that's in space, that's within the confinements of this world. But really where I'm shaking is the infinite worlds. I'm connecting the revealed and the infinite. And it's the only way to do it. The only way for mankind, to connect the created worlds with the above created, to connect the worlds that are under time with the above time. The only way to do this is through the mitzvot. The mitzvot are all arranged in this way, that they're actions that we do in certain times, in certain places, in certain conditions, exactly in those ways. Those have the quality of connecting the worlds and making the finite connected with the infinite. And then of course we know that the place of the infinite is not now, it's going to be later, after this world. This world is only 6,000 years. After this world begins the party, begins. So, we understand, I'm looking at many questions here and I'm just speaking, but what we're talking is answering all the questions that are here. If there's a question that needs to be mentioned specific, I'm going to mention it. So how does one build a relationship with the Creator? Or, another question is, how do I become close to the Creator? And to understand this, we have to understand that closeness in spirituality is not a matter of distance. In physicality, I am close to this I'm further from something, from the wall, because we measure by distance. In spirituality, there's no distance. The way we measure closeness would be by similarity. So if I want to be close to God, that means I must become similar to God. And the way man becomes similar to God is by following God's ways. It has to do with adjusting our personality to make it more God-like, to make it good, to make it giving, to make it clean, to make it holy, to make it beautiful. The same way God reveals to us what His personality likes. God is kind, God has patience, God has mercy, He's holy, He doesn't. And by the mitzvot are all mitzvot that God Himself does. This is sometimes a more difficult concept to understand, but all the mitzvot that we do, putting on tefillin, praying, giving tzedakah, burying the dead, chmasat kala, everything, even mitzvot that have to do with eating, kashrut, everything. These are all mitzvot that God Himself does. Of course, God, there's no body there, or no shape of a body. So of course the mitzvot there look totally different. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu took those godly actions and coded them more and more and more, level upon level, till we have this physical reality. And in this physical reality, the mitzvot, we're really doing the same things. So when I do the mitzvot, and I adjust my personality, my midot, to be more God-like, then I become similar to Him and I become close to Him. Another very, very strong way of becoming close to Him is speaking to Him, is tefillah. The Gemara says that tefillah is from the things that go to the highest place in heaven. And there's nothing more natural and more healing to a person than just talking to his Creator. In your language, in your style. Just finding somewhere quiet, shutting off your phone, and clearing your mind, and just focusing. I am talking to my Creator. I can't see Him, but I know that He's listening. I know that He's looking at me. Once I get over that barrier of talking to something that I don't see, I'm talking to Him. I tell Him about my life. I ask Him for strength in the things that I need. And I start building a relationship with Him. Just like two people will never become close if they don't spend time talking. So, Lavdil, us and the Creator, if we go through our life and we just never stop to talk to Him, then how are we going to have a relationship with Him? So, what do we suggest to this generation today? We're living in a time where the world is in a big rush for materialism, physicality. There are always challenges of ego and money and all the personal drives, temptations and desires throughout all times. Today maybe it's on a higher level, the challenge may be on a higher level. But the first of all is you have to know that whatever generation God puts you in, you have the strength to win. Otherwise He would not put a weak soldier in a strong battle. If you find yourself in a tough battle, that means that you are a strong soldier and you have everything that's necessary to win. He loves us. He would not put us in a battle where He knows we're going to lose. So wherever you find yourself, in whatever conditions, first stop and tell yourself, I could win. And this is 100%, because He put me here and He wants me to win. He would not put me in a battle where I'm going to lose. So it's a bit more tricky these days. There's a lot more distractions, and the world is moving very fast. And therefore, one of the main suggestions is a person must know very clearly what the focus is, what the purpose of the world is. And one of the best ways to do it is by learning the tzaddikim, the great sages that wrote in their books in very big clarity what is the purpose. One of my favorite books that I recommend to everyone is called The Derech Hashem, The Way of God, by the Ramchal, one of the great Kabbalists that lived in Italy about 350 years ago. It's translated to English, maybe to other languages as well. Very clear book, I recommend reading it many times and then asking questions. The more we're clear about what we want, about what our purpose is, it's easy for us to go through the distractions and the challenges. Second thing is to try to learn about the purpose of the mitzvot, the reasons of the mitzvot. Not just to do things because, this is our tradition and this is what we do and my father did this. Not to do things out of habit. To try to understand why we're putting on tefillin, why we keep Shabbat, the background of why eating kosher, why tarat mishpacha. When we do things with a reason, then it has a flavor and it has enjoyment. And then we could do it with happiness. And when our kids see that we do things with happiness, then it goes on to the next generation. If our kids see that we do things just to do them because we have to do them, but we're happier when we, do other stuff, then they're going to realize that the real values are other stuff and not the mitzvot. But the more clear we are and happy we are, and we feel that we're fortunate to be involved in this amazing relationship with the Creator, that we're fortunate to know how a person could live and become connected to the Infinite One, then this will be real for us. We'll enjoy our life and we'll be able to give over these values to our kids. And like we said before, one of the strongest recommendations for this generation is focusing on building your personal relationship with the Creator. And that means taking time every day for this. It's the most important relationship that we have. So take away every day, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, go somewhere quiet and just say, Creator, I'm talking to you now. I'm with you now. I want to know who I am, what my purpose is. I want to talk about my life. Maybe I've done mistakes. Maybe I don't know you. Maybe I have questions. Maybe I have frustrations. Build a relationship with Him. Rabbi Nachman Breslev was one of the great Hasidic masters who, even though he lived 200 years ago, but he really gave guidance for today's generations, for the confused generations before the coming of Mashiach. And this was the main thing that he screamed, that he focused on. Build your personal relationship with Him. Strengthen the relationship with Him. Invest in your relationship with the Creator of the world. We have no idea what could happen to a person when they invest in a relationship with Him, when they ask Him for help. You could see He has so much help in front of Him. So many angels and Shamot Tzadikim, and so much help is available, so much light. Ask for help. Build a relationship with Him. One last question. What is Kabbalah and spirituality? The Mekubalim always chose quiet and holy places to live in, away from the big cities where everyone's pursuit is money and business and fame. The purpose of this world, which is really the secret of this world, is very subtle. And in order to really connect it and study it, they would choose quiet places, which is why Tzfat became the capital of Kabbalah. It's a quiet place facing Avishim Bar Yochai, where people live simple lives, meaningful lives, lives that are quiet. When I'm saying quiet, I mean they're quiet so then I could hear the subtle voice of the secret. If I'm running, if there's noise, then the secret, you don't hear it. In the study of Kabbalah, we study about the spiritual structure of the worlds. How does HaKadosh Baruch Hu create the worlds, the lights and the vessels? Many, many systems of worlds that He creates. And the purpose of knowing all this is to know, like it says in the Pasuk, from my flesh I should understand godliness. All the worlds exist in a person. The same way in me I have an animal soul and a godly soul. I have desires towards the wrong, towards the bad, and I also have desires towards the high and the holy. I'm existing in this duality and this structure. So too the worlds. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created worlds of selfishness and destruction. And He created worlds of healing and light. And when we study the Kabbalah, we study the similarity between a human and the worlds. The way man brings godliness into the world, the way we restore the world, how every mitzvah brings a godly light to a vessel and fixes the vessels and fixes the worlds and heals the worlds. Because the purpose of all is that this world, that mankind should take this world and, we say, letaken olam b'malchut Shaddai, to take this world that we live in and to fix it in a way that's good in front of Him, that He could then rest His godliness, His Shekhinah in this world. That this world, which is a vessel, should be pure and holy and straight. It should be worthy of Him bringing the godliness and the Shekhinah and the light and connecting the vessels with the light. Okay, my friends, that's all for today. Zat Hashem, please send in your questions so I have time to invest in them, to look for right answers. And Zat Hashem, we'll all hear good news.
One last question. What would you recommend for people that feel sad and depressed in this generation and that they don't believe in themselves?
So there are different reasons for feeling sadness. If a person's sad because of physical, chas shalom, there's pain, sickness, financial reasons, family dynamics, all kinds of reasons like that. The first is strengthen in gam zu l'tova. We don't know what's good. We don't know what's good for us. Sometimes reality is bitter, but that's really the fixing and that's really the good. Everything Hashem does is good. We see things in material, physical eyes, with a very short-term vision. We have the power of emunah, which means the power to believe that no matter what He does is good. And even if it's bitter, through the power of emunah, when a person knows that everything that he does is good, even if it's dark and bitter, if he sticks with that, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will eventually heal that reality and make fix everything. But a person could live and say, and really the quality in us that we need for that is humility. To say that even though reality may be tough, but I don't understand what's going on. He's bigger than me. He's working with a master plan. His good is way, way bigger. And for sure what He does is good. If my pain is spiritual, I feel like I'm not fulfilling my purpose, I'm doing avirot, I'm falling into behavior that I should not fall into, then the advice for that the Holy Baal HaTanya gives is that a half hour a day or an hour a day, a person should go into a room and connect to the bitter emotions that he feels. It's not sadness, chas v'shalom. Sadness, like the Zohar says, is avodah zarah. So it's forbidden for a person to be sad, not even on Tisha B'Av. When I feel that I'm not doing my purpose, like I'm lying to myself, like I'm cheating on myself, I feel bitter. It doesn't feel good inside. So take a half hour, an hour a day, go into a room and cry to the Creator of the world. Say, it's so difficult for me. I feel so far from you. I feel like I'm failing you. I feel like I'm failing myself. I want to be doing so much more. I know what I'm capable of. I know with these places that I always fall into this and that, and it hurts me. It hurts me that I'm far from you. It hurts me that I surrender to the low behaviors, that I disappoint myself. It's not befitting for me. I'm in so much pain. Help me, heal me. I know that You have the strength. Please, I don't deserve it, but give me tzedakah, and please help me. And then 23 hours a day, don't think about those thoughts. Be happy. And when those thoughts come to you, you tell them, you come back to me during that hour. I have 1 hour that's an appointment to deal with those stressful emotions and thoughts. But we cannot ignore them. We have to deal with them at the right time. Because we have to remember that the Yetzer Hara, the main thing that he wants is for us to be sad. Because when a person's sad, they give up on life. I'm worthless, nothing's gonna work out. So why try? Why do mitzvot? Let me just surrender to my animal self and that's it. That's where the Yetzer Hara wants us to be. So we tell him, no. If he comes to you all day and says, look at you, you're not fulfilling your potential, look at that avirah that you did, at that bad thing that you did, you were such a horrible person, you insulted that thing, or look, you said you were going to do that, you didn't do it. He wants to bring you to depression. So you tell him, no, you're just trying to bring me to depression now. You're trying to kill me. Get away from me. And that hour, I will open all the can of all this garbage. And I'm going to cry to Hashem and say, yes, I'm weak and I need strength. This hour is devoted for those emotions. The rest of the day, you ignore them. This is the advice of the Balatani.
Chazak Baruch.
Beautiful. Okay. This is the holy room where the Arya Kadosh would meditate and with Eliyahu Hanavi.